There's been a lot of talk recently surrounding Gervonta Tank Davis, none of it for the reasons fans had hoped. Once again, the undefeated boxing champ is making headlines, but this time it's not for his skills in the ring. What should have been a build-up to a major rematch with Lamont Roach JRB has turned into a swirling controversy following Davis's latest arrest. The situation has sparked intense debate and brought with it an avalanche of opinions, some sympathetic, others fiercely critical. The tension reached a boiling point when Davis was arrested in Miami on charges of domestic violence. He's accused of striking the mother of his children during what was reportedly a heated confrontation. According to the police report, the woman sustained injuries, including a cut on her inner lip. Her mother later released a recording that allegedly captured Davis throwing an object at her daughter. While Davis has since been released on bail, footage of him leaving Broward County Jail hood up, face covered, and surrounded by correctional officers quickly went viral, setting the internet ablaze. NFL Hall of Famer Shannon Sharpe weighed in, acknowledging Davis's talent while emphasizing the seriousness of the allegations. Speaking from personal experience, Sharpe was emotional and direct. Davis needs help. He didn't make excuses, nor did he absolve the boxer of responsibility. Instead, Sharpe called attention to a wider issue, one that extends beyond just Davis. He touched on the increasing pressure and scrutiny placed on young black athletes, pointing out a pattern where these individuals are quickly vilified without adequate support structures to deal with their underlying issues. But not everyone saw eye to eye with Sharpe. Critics online quickly accused him of making excuses for Davis's actions. Comments flooded in, some arguing that domestic violence shouldn't be brushed aside or framed within a broader social context. "You never raise your hand to a woman, period," one commenter said bluntly. Others echoed the sentiment, demanding accountability from Davis regardless of the circumstances surrounding his personal life. The case has undoubtedly cast a shadow over Davis's upcoming rematch with Roach, originally scheduled for August 16th. Their first bout ended in a controversial majority draw, with Tank taking a deliberate knee that wasn't ruled a knockdown, a move that drew mixed reactions from both fans and pundits. Roach has stayed focused through it all, even going so far as to confirm during a live stream that the rematch is still on. "Buddy is home already," Roach said. "So, to all the people saying the fight is off, it's still scheduled for August 16th. We're just waiting for the official announcement." It's worth noting that this isn't Tank's first brush with the law. Back in December 2022, he was arrested for allegedly striking the same woman during another domestic dispute. Those charges were eventually dropped when the alleged victim chose not to press forward. Still, the pattern is unsettling. Many in the boxing world, including legends like Oscar De La Hoya, are calling on Davis to get his life in order. "He's a great fighter, one of my favorites," De La Hoya said, "but he needs to get his stuff together. You don't hit women." Boxing insiders and fans alike are now asking tough questions about Davis's future both in and out of the ring. Will these legal troubles derail his career? Can he mentally regroup in time for the Roach rematch, assuming it even happens? More importantly, what support systems are in place to help athletes like Tank Davis before they reach the point of self-destruction? Meanwhile, some have drawn attention to what they see as a disproportionate focus on black athletes when it comes to public scrutiny and legal action. Bill Haney, father of boxing star Devin Haney, voiced concerns that this may reflect a systemic issue. "It's not just a Tank Davis thing," he said. "It's happening in families. We need to unite and support our stars at home, not just on TV." Haney emphasized the need for healing and reconciliation, wishing Davis and his family well in the hope that they find the help they need. Amidst all of this, Davis's personal struggles have also put a spotlight on the complex lives athletes lead. Fame, pressure, and the demands of public life often leave little room for vulnerability. Tank's recent behavior, whether viewed as criminal or symptomatic of deeper personal issues, forces us to reckon with uncomfortable truths about sports, culture, accountability, and mental health. And just when the Davis saga seemed like it couldn't get more complicated, attention shifted to another sports figure, Shannon Sharpe himself. The former NFL star is facing a $50 million lawsuit filed by a woman under the pseudonym Jane Doe, accusing him of sexual assault. The case has already seen some bizarre turns, including a court appearance that Jane Doe failed to attend. Sharpe, who denies the allegations, has maintained that this is nothing more than a shakedown. Still, the situation has forced him into an indefinite hiatus from ESPN's First Take. The claims in the lawsuit are graphic and disturbing, including allegations of coercion and manipulation during their relationship. Despite the salacious details, legal experts believe the accuser's absence at the initial hearing raises questions about the strength of the case. If you're serious about pursuing litigation, both parties should be present, one attorney said. Sharpe's legal team requested and received a 45-day extension from the judge, with the next court date set for September 3. The timing of Sharpe's own legal trouble while commenting on Davis's situation hasn't gone unnoticed. Critics point to the irony, while supporters say it's proof that anyone can find themselves in crisis regardless of how successful or respected they are. The larger conversation about fame, accountability, and the justice system continues to evolve in real time, dragging both men further into the public spotlight. Still, for Davis, the stakes are higher in the short term. His legacy, his career, and his family are all hanging in the balance. If the rematch with Roach does go forward, it could mark a turning point for better or worse. Whether he'll rise to the occasion or crumble under the weight of his off-ring troubles remains to be seen. In the meantime, fans are left to wonder what version of Tank Davis they'll see next: the explosive, unstoppable force in the ring, or a troubled athlete at risk of losing everything. One thing's clear: this fight, if it happens, is no longer just about belts or rankings. It's about redemption, reputation, and the real-life consequences that come with living in the public eye. There's a storm brewing in the boxing world, and it centers around a rematch that seems to be slipping through everyone's fingers. Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach JRB were supposed to clash again in what many saw as a pivotal moment for both fighters. But as time drags on, what was once a highly anticipated showdown now looks more like a crumbling dream. Roach, who's been patiently preparing and waiting, has grown tired of the silence. For weeks, he held out hope that Davis would come around and commit to the rematch. But with each passing day, that hope dims. During a recent live stream, Roach finally let his frustration out. In a raw and unfiltered moment, he said what a lot of people were already thinking: Tank Davis doesn't want this fight, and really, it's hard to argue with him. The rematch has been plagued by constant delays, and despite all the talk, Davis has yet to even sign the contract. Originally slated for the summer, the fight was pushed back from June to July, then August. Now, it seems to have vanished into thin air. Every new date feels like smoke and mirrors, another placeholder with no substance behind it. Meanwhile, Roach has stayed in the gym, staying ready, hoping for the day the call finally comes through. But the call keeps getting delayed, and patience is wearing thin. If this rematch doesn't come together, the ripple effect will be significant, not just for the fighters, but for the sport itself. Boxing has been starving for clarity and for matchups that fans genuinely care about. Too often, we've watched thrilling opportunities fall by the wayside due to behind-the-scenes posturing and a lack of accountability. This bout had the potential to light a fire under the division, to remind everyone that the best still fight the best. But when one side drags its feet, when silence replaces negotiation, it sends a troubling message that clout matters more than competition, that marketability trumps merit. And in that kind of environment, the integrity of boxing erodes little by little. Meanwhile, Lamont Roach JRB is stuck in limbo. He's stuck trying to maintain peak conditioning, managing a training camp that can't even be properly scheduled because no official date exists. That's not just physically draining, it's mentally exhausting. Preparing for a world-class opponent requires precision and discipline, but how do you prepare when you don't even know if your opponent will show up? Roach is living in that uncertainty, walking a tightrope between focus and frustration. And with every day that passes without a response, the more it feels like he's being strung along for no reason. The public sentiment is beginning to shift as well. Fans who once rallied around Tank Davis for his explosive power and undeniable star presence are starting to express disappointment. There's a growing sense that Davis may be dodging this rematch, choosing to stay quiet in hopes the situation will dissolve on its own. But boxing fans aren't naive. They've seen this pattern before: fighters going quiet when a matchup becomes risky, hoping that silence will drown out the demand. But Roach isn't letting that happen. His call-out was loud, clear, and impossible to ignore.